everyone, welcome to History and Civics class for class 7. We were doing lesson number 11, Aurangzeb and his Deccan policy, decline of the Mughal Empire. Topic discussed in the previous video, introduction of the topic, Aurangzeb's rebellions. Let's recall the terms regnal, trivial, single-handed, martyred, allies, martyrdom, Guru Granth Sahib Adi Granth, eternal Guru, mortal. Let's recall the cross questions. Name the four sons of Shah Jahan. When did Aurangzeb ascend the throne? For how many years did Aurangzeb rule in India? Into how many parts the reign of Aurangzeb divided? Name them. Name the last emperor of the great Mughals. Name the Bundela ruler who revolted against Aurangzeb. Who founded the Jat dynasty in Bharatpur? Name the ninth Guru of Sikhs. Name the sacred book of Sikhs. Name the eternal Guru of Sikhs. Topics to be discussed in today's video. Aurangzeb's Deccan policy, estimate of Aurangzeb. As we have already discussed in the previous video about the Aurangzeb's reign. Aurangzeb's reign was divided into two phases. Number 1, reign in north, and number 2, reign in south. He lived his last 25 years of his restive life AD 1681 till 1707 in the Deccan. He captured the territories of Bijapur, district of Karnataka in AD 1686 and Golconda in the state of Telangana in AD 1687. However, these Deccan states did not prove profitable to the Mughal Empire. After the conquest of Deccan, the Mughal Empire became too vast and it became difficult to administer these far-off territories of the Deccan from Agra. Practically, these battles also brought the Mughals face to face with the Marathas. The Mughals had to fight with Marathas. Marathas were more powerful and Aurangzeb could not control the Marathas. Aurangzeb did prolonged wars in the Deccan. Regular and long wars weakened the royal treasury of Mughals, means he used to give salaries and spent on weapons. When his treasury became empty, then he was not able to pay the army. As a result, he lost his imperial army as well. It disrupted trade and commerce also. Aurangzeb died in AD 1707, leaving behind his sons to fight over the succession and an empire which was on the verge of disintegration. Let's read the topic now. Aurangzeb's policy in the Deccan. Aurangzeb exhausted the last 25 years of his restive life, AD 1681 till 1707, in the Deccan. Aurangzeb annexed Bijapur in AD 1686 and Golconda in AD 1687. However, the annexation of these Deccan states did not prove beneficial, means profitable to the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire became too vast and it became difficult to administer these territories of the Deccan from Agra. These conquests also brought the Mughals practically face to face with Marathas. The Marathas were the more powerful force whom Aurangzeb failed to subdue, means to bring under control. His continuous and prolonged war in the Deccan weakened the royal treasury as well as brought about the loss of the imperial army. A defeated man, Aurangzeb, finally died in AD 1707. V. A. Smith remarked that the Deccan was not only the grave of his body but also of his empire. I have already explained this paragraph in the beginning as introduction. Let's start with another topic, estimate of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb had all the qualities of a leader. He was brave, ambitious, and an able military commander. He expanded the territories of the Mughal Empire and carved out the largest Mughal empire for himself. He led an idle life. He led a very simple life and was called the Jinda Peer, or a living saint. He neither wore costly clothes or used precious vessels for eating. Vessels mean a container such as bottles, cups, specially used to hold liquids. He totally abstained from drinking and forbade music and dancing. Here the word abstained means to avoid doing something, and forbade means stopped. He had a strong sense of duty and actively supervised the administration of his territories. Here the word supervised means to observe and direct the work of someone. He was a great scholar and a lover of books. Aurangzeb was a powerful Mughal ruler. He was an ideal person in many ways. He had various qualities such as courage, patience, and kindness. He was a devoted Muslim. He forbade music, dance, and wine consumption in the court. He supervised all the works of the different departments by himself. He neither wore costly clothes or used precious vessels for eating. He led an idle life. He led a very simple life and was called the Zindapir, or a living saint. Despite his good qualities, Aurangzeb failed as a ruler. He followed the policy of religious intoleration. His policies resulted in the evolution of his new enemies. Here the word evolution means gradual development of something in the form of the Jats, the Rajputs, the Marathas. He also failed in his Deccan policy. Aurangzeb was a man of suspicious nature. That's why he failed to become a family man. He imprisoned his father and killed his brothers in the war of succession. Despite of all these qualities, Aurangzeb was a failure as a supreme ruler. He reversed the liberal policies followed by Akbar. He lost all old and loyal Rajput friends. His policy of religious intolerance made him very unpopular among his subjects. His policies resulted in the evolution of his new enemies in the form of the Jats, the Rajputs, and the Marathas. He also failed in his Deccan policy. Aurangzeb was a man of suspicious nature. That's why he failed to become a family man. He imprisoned his own father and killed his own brothers in the war of succession. Okay student, this is the end of the today's topic. I hope you understood the topic. You are able to solve some exercises by yourself. Don't forget to learn the terms. I'll come with the next video of the same lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.